back on the internet.
So I googled "Good Morning, Good Night" episode 3 document, and it came back with nothing.
Well, that's because we're on episode 2.
We're on episode 2. Jesus.
Oh, okay. Let me try googling
Yeah, we
that.
should put it in the chat.
Also Googling it. What do you mean? Why are you
Googling? I don't.
Should I ask Jeeves it?
No, you Bing it. Obviously, we are a Bing family.
We're gonna go to Bing Workspace over this. We had an actual business meeting the other day where we went over goals and just like where we want things to be. And one of our big goals for, I think it was 1 year, was just like break even. And to break even, we had to make like $200.
Yeah.
It's like I spend that on groceries.
I know, right? Yeah. And we have to try to convince someone to spend their groceries on us.
Yeah, we are the groceries.
So I'm sweating like a hooker in church. So can we start the episode?
Because you need to turn the AC back on, is what you're saying?
Yes. Oh my god.
Okay.
I'm done.
Well, I suppose in that case, I will allow it. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, I was wondering if you cut out.
Oh, do we do the good morning, good night, or what?
Just-
what do we
just
do?
the good
What do we-
morning.
just the good morning. Okay.
We're saying good morning. Oh, let me add to my. In addition to that, it is July 15th, 2024.
Absolutely, July 15th.
Shush! You're gonna imply the ruining of movie magic. God.
I had a great 4th of July.
I also had the best 4th of July.
I saw a Texas Ranger baseball game on the 4th of July, and they won.
Wow.
And they lost.
They won they won with 1,000,000 points. That was the most amazing baseball I've ever seen.
All of the baskets is what they scored.
Let's do 2 takes of that. So one where they lose and one where they win.
We'll edit it to whatever it is.
Or no, I'll just leave them both in and make Kitt seem crazy. They won, they lost, they lost, they won, they lost. Wait, what sport are you going to? Actually, I know you guys said something about a basket, but I have a feeling is
no baseball.
Baseball.
I'm going to a baseball game.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Was that the one with the egg?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, egg.
So anyway, good morning. I'm Terry.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Kitt.
And
Good night.
good night.
Oh, okay. Cool. AC, come back to me.
How else has the business setup been going? That's what we've been working on the last month or so. Are we coming up on a month yet of working on this, or is it not
We
even
are
that
cut to
long?
tomorrow is a month since we formally launched the actual the Google profile, because tomorrow, if you couldn't tell by that disconjointed intro, we record this ahead of time. In fact, we're recording this over a month ahead of time due to our
I
release
was about
schedule.
to ask if it was a month since the date this is going out, or the month
Tomorrow,
we're
so
recording.
yeah, this is going
Also
out
that.
a month. This is going out a month and 2 days after we record it. Tomorrow, which is June 14th in the real world, is going to be 30 days since we launched the Google account, which means we can create a YouTube channel. So tomorrow is the 0th anniversary of our YouTube channel. And everything goes live on July 1st because it's super easy to keep track of July 1st as our start date.
Yeah.
And we kind of rip off Rooster Teeth again, in a way, by starting on the 1st of a month.
What? That's a good point. That makes me feel even better about it, because I love being able to rip off Rooster Teeth.
We are
Is it
picking
also
everything we
July?
can out of that carcass.
No, their carcass was born in April, which I think was an interesting.
gross.
If I was them, I would have simply not chosen to have been born on April Fool's Day. But well, whatever. That's their decision, I guess. Like, clearly worked out for them, right? Suckers.
I feel like that's one of those great times to do it, because then you could be like, hey, I started a podcast today, and then if it doesn't do good, it's like, well, no, that was an April 1st joke.
Obviously,
April
I was
Fool's Day.
kidding,
Obviously, it was a
idiot.
joke.
This is a July
Yeah.
Fool's joke. You've heard of Christmas in July.
My dad had a coworker, has a coworker maybe. I don't know if they still work together, but he used to do 2 Thanksgivings where he would do one at normal Thanksgiving time, but then would do one in July as well, so that he could. I think it was for you spend one family with one day. Oh, fuck, God.
Huh? What?
I'm trying to talk. Hold on. You spend one Thanksgiving with one family, and you spend one Thanksgiving with the other family. But
That's smart.
You have two Thanksgivings, right? Double dipping.
That's smart.
So
I don't even want to do one Thanksgiving, so 2 is crazy.
Well, yeah, I guess it's not for everybody, but I guess I'm just implementing the it's like there's a precedent for having additional 2nd July holidays.
Yeah, so we're having July.
We could do a July Christmas
July,
as well.
April Fool's Day. Yeah, Christmas in July, New Year's in July,
July Fool's Day.
July, April Fool's Day.
July just has all the holidays.
Yeah,
nobody
we're
wanted.
just doing it up. But,
But
yeah,
none of us
so-
have a July birthday or anything.
No.
But we could just celebrate all our birthdays in July. Oh, well, we will. Our collective being stuck on the internet.
Will be July 1st.
My wife actually has a July birthday, and
Well,
her parents used to tell her that the 4th of July fireworks were actually for her.
That probably did a number on her ego. The whole world revolves around me.
This country declared independence in my name.
I am Queen of America.
She goes to like England or something. It's like, why aren't you celebrating my birthday with fireworks?
Bow before me, peasants.
What else have we been up to business-wise? I'm trying to think. So we've got, Krista, you've really been in kind of leading all the behind-the-scenes stuff. I think Kitt and I've just been like editing.
Yeah, it's been busy because we've pretty much finalized the website at this point.
Woo.
Which has been live for a while now. So stuckontheinternet.com, if you haven't been yet, check it out. It could also be manifested as orderonkit.com, which has been our little running joke, because if you go to Kitt's channel, the colors are the same.
It's very, reminiscent.
Yeah.
It's an homage.
But we've got a really nice website set up, thanks to Squarespace, as I'm sure you can tell, because every Squarespace website looks vaguely the same. Yeah. It's kind of our hub for all of our content and everything. So if you want to see our shows, we've got our 4 shows on there, because there's been a 4th show developed, I think, since we recorded the last episode of Good Morning, Good Night. So we probably didn't mention it.
No, yeah, I don't think this existed last time. I mean, you might have been thinking about it, but
It was an
didn't.
idea I had.
Okay.
So we now have 4 shows. We have obviously Good Morning, Good Night, which is the show you're listening to. We have the Pip Boys, which is me and Kitt's show where we talk about Fallout. We've got Super Serious, which is my show where I talk about random things in great depth. And we've got
episode 1 of that should be out by the time this goes out,
This-
right?
yeah, this
Actually,
is-
episode 1 of everything is out.
Yeah, episode 1 of everything.
Oh my
We
god,
have to
this is episode 2. So yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. Holy shit.
Yeah, we had a full week of shows for the first time in our entire lives. I
Yeah,
think.
we had like a big old launch. Oh my god. I hope that went well.
Yeah, we had a huge launch week. So hopefully that went really, really well. And we've got
it
1 million
did go well,
subscribers.
guys.
And we
It
made
did.
that $200.
Yeah.
Thank you for 1,000 subscribers. Thank you for $1,000. And thank you for 1,000 kisses.
And Jeff Bezos himself is on his way to join our podcast.
Yep, right now.
Jeff and Todd.
We have already got, this is episode 2, but we've got a little bit of a recurring segment, and I want to just quickly get into the update on this. We're deep into an investigation. There's been kangaroos spotted in Texas, and Kitt's eating them all up. And I have linked an article that I think Chris might be a potential source for where Kitt is eating his kangaroos. And I would like to point out first, if you've missed episode 1, Kitt did eat kangaroo. This is not a joke. He won't tell us where he got it, and I suspect it's for nefarious reasons, because I found an article published February 21st, 2024. Exotic kangaroo spotted at City Park in Northeast Texas. And there's a
Yeah,
picture
well,
of all these
that's
cocks.
a different type
all
of
these cocks-
kangaroo, the normal kangaroo.
What do you mean?
What do you mean by normal kangaroo?
That's an exotic type of kangaroo. Kangaroos are everywhere. They get in your trash. You have to shoo them off places. I mean, it's easy to find kangaroo meat.
So wait, you're eating on like a local Texas kangaroo?
We're going to get like 5 episodes in, and Kitt's going to go, oh, by the way, I moved to Australia last year. Did I not tell y'all?
No, I just went to the store and got a kangaroo meat. Ground kangaroo meat. I think they have them in steaks, too.
What store? Name the store that you went to.
I don't know. What store do you get your meat from?
Well, like, could I go to my local grocery store and just get kangaroo?
I don't see why not.
I see. Well, the issue that I see is that they don't have it there usually. or ever, and I've never in my life seen kangaroo at the grocery store. And
Do y'all not just shop or anything? I don't.
all right, now see, you're the only one I've heard say that a kangaroo is not exotic. I'm gonna accuse you of murdering poor little Rocky here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he capped that.
I'm pretty sure he capped Rocky, and
Rocky is obviously alive and with
Whoa,
5
you-
cops.
I don't know if I go as far as say obviously.
yeah, a bunch of cops have him. You think they're alive after that? I don't-
That's true. It's Texas cops too. They're
Yeah. Oh, so and well, it says it's legal to own a kangaroo in Texas, as it is in 12 other states. But
Wait, what are the other 12 states? Hold on.
I don't know. This is a link. Let's see what it says. Oh,
It goes to some Texas. Okay, hold on. I gotta do a sidebar to see what states can you own.
And then is it owning it in the as like a pet, or are you owning to eat? Because again, I'm thinking.
Quora.com. Maybe it's too many words. Can I just state by state guide to kangaroo ownership legality? Here we go.
Here we go.
So
Important topic.
in God's blessed state of South Carolina, you can own a kangaroo without a permit. There are 3 states in the union that you can own a kangaroo without a permit: South Carolina, West Virginia, and Wisconsin.
Well, Wisconsin.
States that you can own one with a permit. I want to know what goes into getting a kangaroo permit. Is
too.
Washington, Idaho, Nevada, New Mexico, Texas, Illinois, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Maine.
Maine.
So yeah, that's Minnesota's not on the list, buddy. I hate to break your little heart. You're not
No,
gonna be able to get...
I have no interest in owning a kangaroo or eating. Well, maybe I have an interest in eating one, but I'm not. I haven't seen one at a store. And I'm just saying, I found this one that it got lost, and then a bunch of cops had it, and then I don't know what happened next. So
I wonder, I want to just go into exotic animal laws by state. I feel like there's just a lot that you can go, oh man, there's a whole website that breaks down their exotic animals that are legal to own. Like, oh man.
if you're gonna eat an animal, I wouldn't say kangaroo. Their meat is kind of not great anyways, which is why it's so prevalent that you can get it anywhere. I would go with ostrich because that is actually really good.
now ostrich, I have a memory of.
Ostrich is good.
I've never eaten it, but I think Kevin Hart mentioned running into an ostrich in one of his comedy specials, and that was mentioned in the good old US of A, as far as I remember. So I might be wrong about that, but that doesn't surprise me. I feel like ostrich just makes sense to me. Kangaroo, I'm still not sure where it comes from, because I feel like when we were looking at it last episode, we were discovering a lot of more like expensive cuts of meat and everything. And I can't imagine you spending a shitload of money to buy like a burger.
He's got all that missile money.
Yeah. He just threatens them with a missile.
Give me your kangaroo meat, or else I will missile you.
That's just not something that you get from a normal store.
I mean, the example I kept using last episode, I mean, like, what, you're not going to go to a Walmart, right? I mean...
So your theory is that I murdered a kangaroo, I ground it up myself, and then I posted it on Facebook that I did that?
You didn't post on Facebook that you did it. I mean,
yeah, you posted on Facebook that you ate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I cooked it.
And presumably, did you eat it?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, so okay, so there we go.
Well, I mean,
If you
like,
murdered a kangaroo and didn't eat it, I feel like that's almost worse.
I would judge you more for that. It's true.
Yeah, I judge you more if you killed a kangaroo by hook or by crook, field stripped it, ground it, made it into a delicious penne pasta, and then just took a picture of it and posted it on Facebook and like threw it in the bonfire. I'd be a little disappointed.
Yeah, no, I have never, well, on purpose, have never really killed anything. So
did Lady Kitt do it?
No,
so there was a fun game that I came up with, is like the most likely things that you would be like in the news for going to jail for. And a friend of mine was like, oh, do you know what? Lady Kitt would probably go in jail for killing a bald eagle because you wanted to cook it, and you would go to jail for cooking a bald eagle.
Okay. Yeah, you know, I could see that. Okay, that checks.
I would like. Okay, so there's your friends in real life who know you probably better even than we do.
They could see you killing some wildlife. That's
working
good to know.
working as a team to
they
murder
could not see
and
me
eat.
killing anything.
No, yeah, right. It's a
Yeah,
partnership,
I'm gonna throw
right?
that
You know,
out
until
there.
death do you part. And until death do you part, you're gonna slaughter wild animals and cook
You're
them
gonna
into
go to
penne
the
pasta.
zoo after dark. and wax some kangaroos.
Yeah, you said, "Hey, Taiwanese sister, how do I how do I knock off a kangaroo?" And she's like, "Oh, trust me, I know about knocking off some animals. I work for the Taiwanese zoo mafia."
I need one of them red panda meats, please.
Oh yes, yeah. Have you ever had panda? Is that something you can get everywhere too?
No, there's not an abundance of pandas in Texas. That's weird.
Is there
There's not abundance of kangaroos.
You can't go to the store and just get, oh, I want some ground panda meat. You can't do that.
No, that's
go to the store
absurd.
and ask for ground kangaroo either.
I'm gonna go to the store sometime and I'm gonna ask the butcher. I'm gonna say, "Hey, give me some kangaroo," and he's gonna throw a knife at me.
Why would he throw a knife at you? That's a
Get
normal
out of here,
thing to
you
get.
crazy. I'm tired of all these crazy people coming up and asking me for shit. That's why. And I don't blame them. There's not like a special place you're going. There's not like...
There's going to be a special meat market that this man is visiting.
I believe he lives in a large town, so that it makes sense that they might have some more like obscure places. But he has I have a feeling like he didn't go to a weird spot though. At the same time,
Yeah, I just went to a normal store, grocery store.
I'm going to go to Texas, and I'm going to go to every grocery store in the state of Texas. And I'm going to
the
ask
whole
them.
state.
I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up. 40 days and 40 nights. Probably longer than that. Texas is kind of a large state.
Yeah, while you're in El Paso, can you get me some tacos? They have the best tacos.
What kind of tacos? What flesh would you like these tacos pulled from?
That's some good thing. I would like some tripita tacos. Those are pretty good.
What is tripita?
Pig liver?
Pig liver.
Pig
Ooh.
intestine?
Oh, ooh.
It's tripe?
I can imagine it being good, but that sounds gross.
Well, it's gross to look at, but eating it's fun.
That is it's not.
it's cow.
It's
It's
beef
cow stomach.
intestines.
I wasn't sure. I was like, oh, it might be beef. It might not be.
I feel like I would try that.
Yeah, it's really good, especially if you get it in Texas and it's prepared correctly. There's this one spot that I found that it has street tacos that are the best street tacos in Texas, I think. It's actually in Dallas. But they have this tripita that is just, it's like, oh man, how do I describe it? It's like you're chewing on, I can't even describe it. It's too good.
It's like chewing on a cloud made
It's
of
like
love.
chewing on kangaroo.
Well, also, you put a message in the Discord a few weeks ago, or months ago, or weeks, or I don't know,
Years,
days, weeks.
It's all
months,
buried
who knows.
underneath the terry.
Some indiscriminate amount of time. You put a thing. You said I has a thing for someone to read on the podcast. After mentioning that something about Dairy Queen being different in Texas.
Oh, okay. Who wants to read?
I like reading.
I don't know how to read.
I don't, so that's the reason why somebody else needs to read. But I did not know this until recently, and then a friend of mine in Illinois actually asked me about it, and I was like, wait, what? And
So what I've been asked to read here, this is a Reddit post on r/Dairy Queen made by MyLean00. This is about 4 months ago from whenever the screenshot was taken. And I quote, "Okay, here is a brief history of Texas DQ. Dairy Queen was founded in 1940 in Illinois. Dairy Queen jumped on the franchise model early. Roy Kroc is known for popularizing and franchising fast food with McDonald's, but that wasn't until 1955. Dairy Queen was franchising basically right off the bat. In 1947, a guy named Rolly Close franchised Dairy Queen in Austin, Texas. However, he grew Dairy Queens in Texas by selling franchises himself because Dairy Queen's founder had sold to Raleigh the rights to the entirety of Texas for Dairy Queen. So he sold a lot of franchises in Texas. He'd worked to make franchising easy, was hands-off, and made it come down to running the stores as much as they did by the mid-70s. Texas had more Dairy Queens than any other state. So from what I've gathered so far, basically this dude just said, here, run whatever Dairy Queen, and shit just went off the rails. Since Texas wasn't fully beholden to the corporate Dairy Queen in Illinois' big brother, since Raleigh owned the rights to Dairy Queen in Texas, and since he was hands-off, the owners would make up their own menus. Burgers were first introduced in Texas Dairy Queen in the 1950s.
Wow.
They were trying to compete with Whataburger. Around 1973, all the Texas Dairy Queen owners were banded together to create TDQOC, which is the Texas Dairy Queen Operators Council. They standardized the menus across the board in Texas, unified their own supply chain, operating regulations, and pooled advertising money. In 1980, Rolly Klaus sold out. He sold the Texas Dairy Queen rights back to Dairy Queen. Corporate Dairy Queen came in and tried to get Texas to conform to the standards of the rest of the world. Texas told them to fuck off. The TDQOC sued the American Dairy Queen in 1991 and a settlement was reached. As such, Texas Dairy Queens are a wholly different than Dairy Queens worldwide. They retained their menu and the control over their menu, their own advertising, and as such, have a different app. Unless and until a majority of Texas Dairy Queen owners agree to conform to Dairy Queen standards, they will have to continue to exist entirely as a different entity.
So, like, is Dairy Queen proper, like the main Dairy Queen, not even able to open like new locations? Is it?
No.
Nope.
So basically, what it was is like when they were doing franchising, I guess they would sell the rights to franchise by state, or that was something that they did.
Okay.
So they sold this dude, this Rolly Klaus dude. They sold him basically they made him the sole person that could open Dairy Queens in Texas. And he just went to all the fucking Texans out there, hopped up on Kangaroo meat, and was like, do whatever the fuck you want.
Kangaroo burgers for everyone.
Yeah, ours sells tacos, chip salads,
Does it still
chicken
do
strips,
like
steak fingers.
This might be a dumb question, but does it still have ice cream?
Oh yeah, it does.
Okay.
Yeah, I just pulled up so Dairy Queen Texas even has its own website, which is dqtexas.com. And their tagline is, "That's what I like about Texas." And it looks largely similar to Dairy Queen, regular Dairy Queen. I'll take a look at the menu here. So they've got blizzards and snow cones. And it looks like, from what I can understand, there's still a part of Dairy Queen proper. It's not like there's Whataburgers in North Carolina, but it's not the Whataburger.
What?
It's just a separate entity. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like kind of like a small chain in North Carolina, but yeah, there's a Whataburger chain in North Carolina that's completely disassociated with Texas Whataburger, which is going to get fun because now Whataburger is moving into the southeast because we're getting one in town here in the next few months.
Boo.
But yeah, there's a whole
Stay in Texas.
there's all kinds of stuff on this website that's just kind of its own. The
Yeah,
best treats and eats in Texas.
Believe Dairy Queen everywhere else, if they serve any of the food options, they call it grill and chill.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
While Dairy Queen here does not have Dairy Queen grill and chill, we just have Dairy Queen or Dairy Queen restaurant.
They have Texas Tea brand tacos. I would eat the shit out of a Dairy Queen taco.
We have way better taco places. So I wouldn't go
No,
Dairy
it's just
Queen.
the experience.
Yeah,
though.
exactly. You got to at least try the Dairy Queen taco because I mean that doesn't exist anywhere else.
They've got Dairy Queen nachos. That's the biggest difference I can tell between Dairy Queen here and Dairy Queen everywhere else is they just have taco and nacho offerings.
Y'all don't have the steak fingers, right?
I think we do. I'm
I-
pretty sure.
that, doesn't-
Okay.
that doesn't sound like something I would be in this neck of the woods.
Because it's fried wings, but instead of wings, they're steak slices.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, that does look like it's specific to Texas. I just looked it up. It's not anywhere else. That does sound. Yeah, I would go here just for the novelty of it.
Yeah, those are really good.
Yeah, it looks good. This looks better than the ones here. Dairy Queen here is just kind of sad.
So yeah, that was a little fun thing that I learned that I was like, oh my god.
That's really. It's a very Texas thing.
So I've
Yeah.
got to ask: is this something that did you go to Dairy Queen regularly before and just thought that was the experience, or?
Well, Dairy Queen was not really high on my list of things to go to. I usually only
Yeah.
go there for like ice cream, but every once in a
Yeah.
while I would go there for like a burger or something. But when I was in Illinois, I never went to Dairy Queen because it's colder up there, so I was not craving something cold. So I never really noticed. It's also a very similar thing with like pickles in the theater.
Oh yeah, I remember being
Because
really
in
thrown off by
Texas,
this.
theater pickles are always available. It's just I've never like partaken in a theater pickle. But up in Illinois, they didn't offer it, and I didn't notice they didn't offer it because I never partook in a pickle.
I think I don't remember who had it was. Maybe it was Dark Cloud Pie or somebody who had mentioned these theater pickles a long time ago, and that was the first time I'd ever heard of them, and I was like, you are making that up. This is not.
I remember this conversation. I'm pretty sure it was on one of the podcasts. Might have been on the Rootcast.
It literally might have been.
Because I remember I know we've had this conversation before, but yeah, it's Texas is a wild place. I would go for theater pickles. I want them to make fried pickles more prevalent. That's something I feel like would be pretty Texas, but
There's not fried pickles everywhere?
well, they're here, but it just there's just not as many places I want them to be,
Yeah. As far as I'm aware, pickles are just not a thing. Like, I mean, obviously we have them, but
Pickles aren't a thing.
But they're
Pickles
just not
do
a
not
thing up here.
exist.
I mean, they're just like they're not part of the cultural zeitgeist up here.
So something else that is surprising me is the large number of people that don't know that cucumbers are pickles.
Oh,
I think it's the other way around.
no. You pickle a cucumber.
cucumbers
Well, yeah, I
are
was saying
pickled.
that I was gonna say the
Yeah.
cucumber or pickles are
pickles
cucumbers.
are cucumber. Yeah, that.
You say
Well, they're
cucumbers are pickles.
both. Both the same, right?
Oh,
I guess you can't
I didn't
unpickle a
even.
cucumber.
I'm caught up now too. I didn't even notice the difference. I was like, you're saying the same thing twice.
Oh,
So girls, what are you drinking
Girl.
today? By the way, boys, do you guys have anything to drink? Anything fun?
I've got a bottle of purified, no minerals added bottled water from the grocery store.
Okay, pretty
Yeah.
boring. Kit, you got anything?
Pretty boring.
I have a Shiner Bock, which is a
Okay.
Texas beer from Shiner, Texas.
Very nice. I think they used to drink those on Rooster Teeth things. Maybe, I don't know. I didn't actually pay enough attention to what they drank.
Yeah,
Probably it's the best
they probably
beer in
did.
Texas. I don't-
I'm good. Shiner's starting to expand out. You can get it here. I'm glad you can because it's a pretty good beer.
I feel like I
That's
might have seen
good.
it at the liquor store too. I'm not sure. I'm not much of a beer drinker, so that's not the route I normally go.
Weirdest thing about Shiner Bock is that because of weird zoning issues, it's considered an import whenever you get it at a bar. And so like a bar will have domestic beers for $5 or whatever, or like $2 domestic beer. And I'm like, cool, I can get a Shiner Bock. And I'll go in there and I'll be like, can I get a Shiner Bock? And they're like, no, actually, that's not domestic. I'm like, the Texas beer from Texas is not domestic
Really?
in Texas?
How does that work? That doesn't make any sense.
It's like a weird distributing thing or something like that, where it's like distributed in a certain spot, and they're like, "Oh no, that's actually not Texas." It's like it's Texas.
They ship it out
Shiner
from
Bock,
Texas to be distributed in another state, which means it gets imported back. That must be it, right? Something like that.
Something I don't.
Legally, it's considered to be a specialty beer, and it falls under the banner of import. From what
Specialty
I can
beer.
see.
That's what. Okay, that's what it was then.
Yeah,
Because I remember the lady explained it to me like I was a child, but I still was like, I don't get it.
That just seems like pedantic, dumb politics.
yeah, it's just from what I can tell, just doing a quick Google search, it's just some pedantic bullshit. I don't think it really makes any difference.
Well, I guess the difference would make it, does that mean it like costs more to get it at the bar then?
Yeah, it does cost more to get.
So it's impacting the customers, now your base, they're being fucking bled dry just for a, what is it, Shiner?
Shiner Bock.
Shiner box. Sorry,
Shiner
I feel like I knew I was forgetting something.
Terry, what do you have to drink?
I had a latte because we have a little one of those like $200, not even like a home espresso machines. So
Mhm.
I had a little
A
latte.
homeless? Did you say a homeless espresso machine?
I hope
Like-
I didn't.
I
Sometimes words happen and I don't intend them to. That wouldn't have been. It's a home espresso machine.
there was this homeless guy, and I took
This
his
homeless
espresso
man making
machine.
espresso
It's
in my living room.
It's in my home. It actually has a home now. I guess it hadn't been homeless because it was just at the store, and that's not much of a home.
A rehomed.
I
beautiful store.
rehomed my espresso machine from the store, and had a latte. And a maple one. It was very good. And then I also had root beer from the root beer lady, Dorothy Malter, who used to live up on the range, and her house got picked up and moved after she died, and now it's a museum in good old Ely, Minnesota.
You guys love your museums up there.
God, I love museums. Do you not love museums?
I mean, I like a good museum. I just feel like every time I hear about Minnesota, it's like, oh, there's a jacking off museum over here.
Our biggest
was-
museum is about a president getting shot.
That makes sense. That was a pretty big deal.
Yeah, that was kind of
That was a big slip
national
up on your
moment
parts.
there.
You guys should have really
Yeah.
done better to protect our boy.
We
They were
did
too busy
an
trying to figure
oopsie.
out their beer import laws.
Because of Shinerbach, JFK got sniped.
360 no scope.
If only Lee Harvey Oswald had been drinking a Shinerbach.
Why are we not getting ads from Shinerbach? That was a perfect ad for them.
Yeah.
We should get revenue.
We're saying they let our country down by allowing that president to be killed.
Well,
that's what we're saying. I don't
that
think
if
that's likely to be.
Lee Harvey Oswald had Shinerbach, then it wouldn't have happened, right?
Yeah, I mean that's true. That's a ringing endorsement.
He went to the bar and was like, "This is a buck more for a pour. Fuck that! I'm gonna shoot the president." There was never a second shooter. He was enraged by Texas beer prices. That's the real conspiracy.
And yeah, and so just think about that, CEOs. Next time you're pricing out your new product, you could be influencing the future of this country and enraging would-be murderers and assassins.
Yeah, your price gouging could lead to the next Lee Harvey Oswald. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, I think they say something similar about John Wilkes Booth and like some moonshine or something. So, just saying. So while this has kind of been the Kitt episode, I also have a note on here that says
There's a lot of kids. Like, I'm looking at the list, and half of the list for our topic starts with the word Kitt.
I've been curious because I don't know what the context was. It says Kitt's dad birthday surprise.
For Kitt's dad birthday surprise, my recording stopped somehow. So
Ba-na-na-na-na-na.
Hey Chris, so you're a truck stop prostitute?
So, speaking of Texas, this actually fits into the Texas theme.
Really?
So, it's a huge deal anytime in our culture as a nation, anytime a new Buc-ee's gas station gets built. And so they're building a Buc-ee's gas station in our area in the next few years.
So you're gonna throw a parade and
Oh, it's like it's a zeitgeist right now. The whole entire community is enamored with this Buc-ee's for one of two reasons. Just because the thrill of having a Buc-ee Beaver in your town. Or two, the fact that the exit they're going to put it on is already fucking miserable to get off on. So you are in one of two camps. I happen to fall on the latter because I've been to Buc-ee's and it's a unique experience, but I use that exit a lot. And I'm going to use that exit more often than I'm going to go to Buc-ee's. So, as a part of this, I've got a friend of mine who happens to work at a news station. He's a cameraman at one of the biggest news station in the state. So, they were looking for people to interview to talk about the Buc-ee's coming into town. And basically, they needed somebody local to interview for it, and he didn't feel like finding some random jackass, so he came to me. I was like, hey, can you just do just a quick interview on this? It's not the first time I've been on this television station for this exact same reason. Just because they don't want to go further than my house to find someone to talk about something. Which in and of itself is something that's funny. And if it happens again, I'm going to wear a Stuck on the Internet shirt so we can get a little free publicity.
There you go.
So we did the interview, and I'm mad that the video is not on there now because it adds a lot more context. But they were just like, how do you feel about Buc-ee's? And I was just being a jackass for sake of being a jackass. And as a part of the backstory to this, I was on the road for a long time as an IT technician. I drove a lot, like probably racked up 250,000 miles easily over a couple of years. And I said at one point, well, I've been to a gas station or two in my day. I've spent a lot of time at gas stations in my day. I just love a good gas station.
I love cruising around, going to gas stations.
That's basically it. He cut it to where it's just a close-up of me going, I've been to a lot of gas stations in my day. I like a good gas station. And immediately, as soon as this airs, I start getting texts and phone calls from people going, "You realize you sounded like a truck stop prostitute, right?"
I mean, you did. Did you hear from anybody else who like didn't know you? Who was like, hey, buddy, how much you charge?
I never got that far, but it was I had a few people because it's like I said, it's the biggest news station in the state. That's
I just love blowing dudes in gas stations. Yeah, well,
Yeah, that's So pretty much immediately everybody I know, and then of course my wife turns around and sends that video to everyone I've ever met who doesn't live in the state of South Carolina and can't see this.
South Carolina country resident whore Chris said.
I was at a wedding a couple of weeks ago in Virginia, and someone walked up to me, someone I haven't seen in probably 5 years walked up to me and said, "So you fucked any truckers lately?"
You're going, well,
it's a little bit iffy bringing something that's going to bring in much more traffic. I feel like you should want more traffic, though, right?
I would think. Good for business.
Good for business, but it's bad for that exit.
That exit being your butt?
Yeah, that exit being my asshole, and the fact that I have to go and get railed by 150,000 people a year that want to go to the Buc-ee's. That's the real attraction here.
When you're opening up a new Buc-ee's, you gotta fill all the positions: manager, cashier, butt fucker.
As you specifically said, you're definitely gonna need to bring in something to widen the roads for more traffic. I'm hoping all that's euphemisms.
Looking back now, it probably is.
It's so funny. Oh, it's good.
Yeah, that's what I've been up to in the interim between Go Bicker and Stuck on the Internet. Probably the most people have ever seen a production I've been in is me saying I get fucked by truckers.
I'm glad that it all worked out for you.
And hopefully there'll be 2 things where you say that.
Yeah.
It'll be highest viewed.
I gotta say, the other thing that a lot of people have seen is you talking about shitting under your parents' bed and brushing it.
Oh.
That's one of my favorite clips.
Yeah, it's a lot of people. It's my co-host in the Usos podcast, Jason. It's his favorite clip too. He loves it. I had to show that on a podcast. We had a band in. He started talking about it. And I had to just sit down and show them kids are fucking stupid.
Oh, that's a Go Bicker classic. If
It
anything's
really
worth going back to and watching on that channel, it's kids are fucking stupid.
I have that one as a short, and it's saved on my computer so that it can go anywhere.
We should put that out as
favorites.
promotional material for. We'll just rebrand it for Stuck on the Internet. We'll stick the Sodi card on the end of it and call it good.
Fucking why
So
not?
it's the animated version of it as
It's
well.
in one of our podcasts. You just got to watch it to find out which one.
Just watch every episode from front to back. You'll find it
from front to back. It's definitely not in the subsidiary that we killed.
Also, skip this episode that we're telling you with this in every episode, but forget this part.
This is the behind the scenes episode. You're not supposed to know. You're not supposed to know this thing. This is pulling back the curtain.
So if you're watching this episode after watching all the other episodes, then you won. You won the prize.
You found Waldo.
Congratulations. Kitt, do we know what your dad got you? What your birthday surprise was?
Did your dad get you some dildos?
Did your dad get you some dildos? Did your dad offer you some...
Can we? Maybe we should explain that to a new audience.
Truck station loving?
We're not. It makes it sound like your dad is like a sexual predator who's buying his children dildos, but that's not the situation you're in.
Kitt's dad is not a sexual predator. I'm here to say, as someone who's been to a lot of gas stations, I have never seen Kitt's dad at a gas station.
As an expert in sexual predators.
I'm an expert on sexual predation.
My dad just happens to own a sex toy store on the line of the internet.
On the line of the internet.
I should be like on the state line.
Oh, it can't be in Oklahoma. That's illegal in Oklahoma.
Can you not own a sex toy store in Oklahoma?
Yeah, it's illegal to do it in Oklahoma. In fact, actually, at the Oklahoma-Texas border, on the Texas side, there's a whole lot of porn stores, and then on the Oklahoma side, there's a whole lot of casinos because you can't gamble in Texas and you can't buy porn in Oklahoma.
Wait, can you seriously not?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were just making jokes about how fucking
no.
backwards Oklahoma is, but no, it really is just okay. Wow.
Yeah, no, it is.
You
backwards.
can't own a
God.
dildo in the state of Oklahoma.
Why doesn't Oklahoma not have like the highest suicide rate?
Tornadoes.
Because people are getting taken out by tornadoes first.
There comes a point where you've got bigger problems than getting off when there's a fucking tornado outside.
Agree to disagree.
I think Oklahoma has like a very low population too.
Yeah, because why would you want to be there? It sounds like a miserable
Yeah.
place.
As someone who's driven through the entirety of Oklahoma, I can tell you don't want to do it.
You know the reason why Texas hasn't floated into the ocean? Because Oklahoma sucks. It's funny if you're Texas.
Get fucked, Oklahoma. God. I'm sorry. That's way too angry and judgmental. I shouldn't. I mean, I haven't been there. It really doesn't have a good rep.
So did you
Oklahoma
know-
is not okay.
Did you know that most astronauts actually come from Oklahoma?
You gotta get as far away from there as possible.
Yeah, because you have to get really, really far away from Oklahoma, and space is as far as you can get.
Probably so disappointed to come back to Earth just because they know they're that ever a little bit closer to being back home.
There was actually a president that was shot in Oklahoma as well, and like his last words were, "Thank God I'm no longer in Oklahoma."
Yeah, JFK was secretly assassinated in Oklahoma, but they made it look like it was Texas to pin it on Texas. That's the real conspiracy.
That's probably a first. See, here at Good Morning, Good Night, here on Stuck on the Internet, we are innovating on decades old conspiracy theories.
These conspiracy theories are old and dusty. It's my job to take them and spruce them up. We need to
Fresh
give
blood.
people new things to be crazy about. What if the airplanes didn't hit the Twin Towers? What if the Twin Towers hit the airplanes?
Yeah, they leaned over, got in the way, boom. You heard Leaning Tower of Pisa. It's been done before. Think about it.
So my birthday was on Saturday.
You have 69 days. Your birthday.
Oh no! My birthday was on Sunday last month from whenever this came out, and on Saturday I got a call from my stepmom, and my stepmom was like, "Hey, we really need some help with the sprinkler system." And I was like, "Hey, do you know what? I actually know a lot about sprinkler systems. That's one of my weird hobbies that I have. Is I just love working with sprinkler systems.
They just love sprinklers.
What can I say? I just love making them squirt.
Well, it costs like $20 to fix them yourself, and like $3,000 to get somebody else to fix them. So as soon as I figured out that, I was like, this is actually fun. I'm gonna make it fun. So I started talking to my dad about it because I got the phone over to Dad, and so we were talking back and forth. I'm gonna go help him with it, and then he was like, "Hey, is it possible that tomorrow, my birthday, can you come over and work on the sprinkler system?" And I was like, "Oh, I might not be able to tomorrow because I'm going to be busy." And he was like, "Why?" I was like, "Because it's my birthday." He was like, "Oh, shit, sorry."
Shit, my bad, dog.
It's my birthday, Dad.
So there's been quite a bit of joke that I'm the second son, so I'm not the important one, and they don't care about me. Like his anniversary is 2 days after my birthday too.
Oh, he is distracted. Like, you can't blame the guy.
He's got to get his sprinklers ready before his anniversary.
He's like, "That's weird. It's 37 days until your brother's birthday, but I forgot yours tomorrow."
It is 37 days, 45 hours, or not 45 hours, I suppose. Goddamn shit, I don't know how many hours are gonna take. I'm gonna cut that. No, I can't. God, why can't? Oh, never mind. I just so disappointed. Ugh.
Just like my dad is with me.
How could you, as the owner of a sex toy store, forget your child's birthday when their birthday is on 6/9?
That's a very good question.
I think that's probably like a high sell day or something.
It's a busy
I got so many orders to fill.
It's like 420 for a dispensary.
It's 420 for the... It's 420 for people who collect dildos.
The first time I went to a dispensary, we went kind of later on in the day, and so it was about 4 o'clock when we, or no, a little, I guess, yeah, no, a little after 4 when we got there. And while we were in line, it went over to 420, and all of a sudden there was like cowbells and people jumping around all over the place. Like, it's 420, it's 420, dong, 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 dong. And I was embarrassed to be there, but you know what? You got to do what you got to do.
So anyway, on that note, we want to start.
Yeah, it's time to wrap it up.
It's time to kill this one.
If we didn't know, this has been a podcast on the internet. Not really, but kinda.
No.
We can't do it again.
A Stuck on the Internet production.
This has been a Stuck on the Internet production. Join us next week for a new episode of what did we decide? We just talked about this.
Join us next week for, I think the schedule states.
Oh, it'll just be Pip Boys. It should just be Pip Boys.
It'll be Pip Boys and Anecdotal Madness.
Oh,
which is the show we started talking about an hour ago and never got to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Shit. Whoops. Well, yeah. Well, go just. You probably on week 1. You probably already heard the first episode, and if you haven't, you listen to that.
By now you know all the shows that we do. We have 4 shows, 5 technically counting the Rousseau's podcast, which is produced by Stuck on the Internet. Next week, tune in. Anecdotal Madness will be on Thursday. Pip Boys will be on Friday. We'll be back the next week after that with some more content, and then the next week after that with some more content, and then we're going to just keep going until we make $200.
We'll be back on July 29th and back every other week after that until we make $200.
Exactly $200. Then we're gonna plan out what our next move is. If you want to follow us on social media on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow us at Stuck on Internet. If you want to go to our subreddit, that is r/Stuck on the Internet, and of course the greatest website in the entire universe, stuckontheinternet.com. If you go to stuckontheinternet.com/longkit, you'll get a special something.
What?
Good night.
We couldn't find the page you were looking for. Is it long_kit or is it?
I need to add it. It was an idea I had this morning when I was on the toilet to add long kit, and I'm just gonna make that long image where you just gotta scroll scroll and scroll.
You've got until July 15th to get that done. Otherwise, I gotta cut that out of the episode. Just saying.
I think I can do it between now and then.
Good night.
Good night.
Good.